Well, the good thing is you'll figure it out, as you always do. You know, if there's one thing I know about you, I could depend on you to get things going and to be reliable
very
enough.
reliable.
Very reliable, and you're also very much the kind of person that you'll get it done, you know? Concise.
On time.
Uh-huh.
Precise.
Uh-huh.
Reliable.
Very.
Like a clock.
Yeah. Motivated.
Motivated.
Constantly just seeking more work.
Right.
You know, my go-to.
Go-getter.
Right. That's the Mike that I know. And I also...
Someone would ask me, what are your flaws? You know, where are areas you can work on?
Yeah.
If I was doing like a job interview.
Yeah.
Like,
Because it's been so long.
you know, sometimes I work too hard.
That's the thing.
I need to pump the brakes.
It always has to be a positive.
Yeah.
Hey, Brandon, you know, if you could just give us one weakness in your work ethic. Well, you know what it is? I think I care too much.
Yeah.
You know, I think I just care too much about my people and getting the job done right.
My team.
Yeah.
I don't want to let anyone down.
Yeah. You know, I'm just too dedicated, you know? So
I put too much stuff on my shoulders.
yeah.
Think of me
like Atlas. And your company is the fucking world, and I am holding that motherfucker. I'm not even shaking. Right. I am so strong.
See my hand? See any movement? Didn't think so.
You see this? See what that is? Anyway, welcome everybody to another episode of Spectacular. We are a podcast that talks about movies and shit, mostly shit. And I am one of your hosts, Brandon, the main man, Aquino.
Ooh, nice.
And I'm joined by my best friend, Mike, not the main man, Vera.
Sidekick extraordinaire.
Yeah.
Mike V.
It's Brandon Aquino +1. And
welcome to Spectacular with Brandon and TBD.
Brandon and friend. But we are still doing
and others.
Yeah, we are doing the ABCs of Spectacular still, and we are in the Q's and we are the R's.
Yes.
And we're doing the Quick and the Dead and Raging Bull. So, Mike, how are you?
I'm a little upset.
Okay.
Because I told you earlier.
I'm upset.
Yeah.
Like Drake?
No.
Like fucking grooming?
No, I'm upset like Demon in Whiplash.
Okay.
I'm upset.
Okay. I was going the Drake route, like music, but I also mentioned that he's a groomer, which I mean, from whatever, I mean, it's very troubling.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so you're upset. You did tell us earlier. You told me earlier because that's going to be in Weekly BM, which if people listen to that,
well, no, because you know we're doing the ABCs of Spectacular-ese,
right?
And one of the best features on HBO Max was you can literally search movies A to Z, and it has an A to Z thing.
Which makes things a little easier,
and they
right?
just switched to Max, which is like the fourth time they switched stuff, but whatever. And they took away the Turner Classic Movie.
Doing? What is happening here?
Just holding them out straight. Stretching, baby.
Okay, sorry.
When they took away the Turner Classic Movie Hub, where you can search classic movies, and I guess they're still on there, but I don't know how to search them like better.
Yeah.
And two, they took away the A to Z feature. So I don't know. I'm just gonna type in fucking S tomorrow and see what movies come up. But whatever, it's dumb.
It makes things a little more difficult.
Yes,
it does. And you would think that with the designers and engineers for that website and that streaming service, that they'd be like, hey, you know what? This does not make things easier in the slightest to look for stuff. Not everybody has the talk to microphone to search for stuff too. Like if they have it connected to their Fire Stick.
Yes.
Or if you're watching on your phone, you might have that capability, or a tablet maybe. But who the fuck is doing that? I mean, I'm watching shit on a TV. Sometimes I'll watch on a tablet, but still very seldom. Anyway, yeah, I see. I can completely understand that being troubling. And I mean, really, a lot of the movies I just watch though are mostly for our podcast now. So I guess just that's my thing. And if I do watch a movie though, there's a reason. Like I follow a Reddit that's called Cineshot or something like that. And so like it's like a good shot of a movie or something, and something that we'll get to it. But in Raging Bull, I told you there's a scene of Sugar Ray where they do a dolly zoom of him, and I think that might have been one of the first dolly zooms I had ever seen besides Jaws, and it's still so good. The movement of it is so good. And there's actually a couple of times in Raging Bull where I was like, I really like the way they oh my god, not shot the shot where they what is it? Not staged, when they blocked it. The way they blocked that shot, I was like, oh my fucking god, like this is so good. And this is 1980, and this wasn't Scorsese's first movie, but still. Anyway, The Quick and the Dead, Michael. Starting with that movie, why don't you tell us about it? Who's in it? Who directed it? Who wrote it?
Well, The Quick and the Dead from 1995.
I will say I've always liked this movie.
Okay. Directed. I don't mean anything bad. I had never seen it.
Right.
Directed by Sam Raimi, which I did not realize until I saw it.
Yeah.
Actually, it took me.
You can after you've seen it though.
Yes.
You can see the Raimi-isms in it, right?
Which we'll get into it.
Okay.
That's fine. Written by Simon Moore, and that's it. Whatever. Who cares? A female gunfighter returns to a frontier town where a dueling tournament is being held, which she enters in an effort to avenge her father's death. Good synopsis, actually. Starring Sharon Stone as Alan, Gene Hackman as Herod, Russell Crowe as Court, Leonardo DiCaprio as the Kid, and Keith David as Sergeant Cantrell, a bunch of other people. Who cares? Oh, Gary Sinise.
I fucking love Cantrell.
Yeah.
You know his voice anywhere he's doing something. He's in Rick and Morty too. Yeah.
How'd you make the pizza best friends? All right. But, I mean, so if we're going to get into it right away, yes, I was watching for a few minutes. I'm like, what is going on? This movie is weird. This is not what I expected. And then it said, oh, directed by Sam Raimi. I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But does he get a pass?
Wait, have you not seen Doctor Strange yet?
The new one? No.
Fuck, dude. Okay, sorry.
I don't know.
It's good.
It's fine.
It's good.
It's actually, it just occurred to me that he went from directing the Spider-Man for Sony and shit. Now he directed the latest.
Well,
it's
because somebody backed out and they asked him to do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so which I think was great. I think he.
Man, imagine doing that. Like, someone backed out. Could you step in on this fucking $200 million movie real quick? Just if you're not busy for the next fucking
you got a little time
year of your entire life. Like, oh my god,
it was a good movie.
I'll check my schedule.
I liked Multiverse of Madness.
It said nap, and then
It said nap.
10.5 months later,
do hair.
lunch.
Yeah. What else?
Lunch with the kids.
Yeah, and hang out with Bruce more. Just him and Bruce Campbell.
Right.
But anyway, so you're indifferent about the movie when it started.
Yeah. Well, it's just because you walk in, you're like, what is this kind of campy weirdness? And then you see his name, like, okay, that makes sense.
A lot of sense.
But then, is it good or is it just him?
Raimi?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
because obviously if anybody else did it, well, one, people would just say, oh, he's just ripping off Sam Raimi. But two, is it good or you just have to go in knowing that it's his style and you either dig it or you don't?
I mean, maybe a little bit of both, right? Because Raimi does have a particular way of shooting his movies. There's always a slight campiness to it. Always. Even with Doctor Strange. There's a few times there's like, again, as I said, the Raimi-isms and stuff. Like, they're there. And I think it gives it a unique look. It gives it a unique... not always. Because, like, when I saw this movie, I didn't know Raimi did it. And...
What's your history with this film? This is the first time I've seen it.
Yeah.
But did you watch it, like, growing up?
No. So... There was a girl that I was dating that it was one of her favorite movies. And so I watched it with her. And I was going into it, I'm like, a Western? And it's not that I don't like Westerns. I love Tombstone. And I also love the Brad Pitt, the Session of Jesse James with the Cowboy Robert Ford. And that's not really like a cowboy, but yes.
I get you.
Yeah. So a lot of Westerns. But then I think of, Good, Bad, and the Ugly. Those kind of movies. Great spaghetti Westerns and stuff too. Super, super... I wouldn't say necessarily campy, but just that ADR.
Super stylized, yeah.
Yeah. So there's certain ones that I've just never been the biggest fan of, though, for Westerns.
Which you can really see the influence on this movie. Like,
sure.
Just like the fucking super duper close-ups, eyes and shit like that. Fingers on the triggers, that sort of thing. Yeah.
The clicking.
Yeah.
He's just clicking his lighter. But it's... When I first started watching, I was like, Sharon Stone, she's a fucking nut. But then, like, well, from what I understand too, she got help and she's good now. Like, she's a lot better. Well, I'm glad because there's many stories about her. I was like, ooh, that's tough. But like the cast in this movie, great.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Like you see that on paper, even with Sharon Stone. Even Sharon Stone now, I'd still be like, this is a great cast because like Russell Crowe. He's always bringing it. I mean, we did The Nice Guys.
Handsome fellow when he's younger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Leonardo DiCaprio. And this is like a little past What's Eating Gilbert Grape. This is like a little past.
That's a good question. I don't know. Yeah.
It is. But it's like, he's like just getting there, right? Where he's almost Titanic age.
What did I say?
This is
95?
Something like that, yeah.
Titanic is 98?
I thought it was 97. I think it was 97.
Yeah, I think it's 97. Yeah, it's wild.
So, I mean, he's already like there. and he in this movie,
Imagine telling him like, "Hey, in 2 years, you're going to be the most famous person in the history of."
like being a 20 or 19-year-old kid, and how old?
23. He's 21 when he made this.
Okay.
And it looks fucking 14.
Which I'm glad because he banged Sharon Stone.
Yeah.
Or is supposed to. I don't know if they
I don't know
actually,
what's
I don't know if
gonna-
they really did.
Yeah.
But like, they call him the kid, right? Something in
It's funny we're pairing this with Raging Bull because there's
Pedophile,
quite a bit of
pedophilia.
underage.
Yeah. It's at the time, Mike. It's okay.
Yeah.
So,
We're all cool with it, right?
yeah. So I don't want to jump too far ahead, but basically, I greatly like this movie. It's campy, a little bit of humor in it. I like the gunplay. I like the close-ups, the acting. Like Gene Hackman, when he's a villain, he's so fucking
I like him
good.
yelling at the town.
Yeah. Like, I gotta tax you
That's
guys
just more
more.
of your money.
Yeah. And like, he's just a good fucking villain. He's menacing.
Yeah.
And he's such a good actor that like, it's almost sort of mesmerizing. Like you look at Leo too, great actor. Russell Crowe, great actor. Sharon Stone, great actor. Everybody in this movie is so good. But like Gene, anytime he's in a scene, it's sort of captivating in a way.
Yeah. There's a gravitas.
Sure.
Yeah.
And he just goes fucking hard.
Yeah.
And then the way he goes out is pretty fucking hard too. It's kind of silly, but like I fucking love it.
It's very silly.
It's super, but like it's
like one of our favorite like inside jokes between us is any reference to Kung Pao, Enter the Fist, right? So I believe, at least this was my first reason when I saw
he got shot.
when he gets shot. He gets shot in the chest,
Yeah.
and you can see like
hole.
sunlight through his body, like all the way through his body. So my first reaction though was always like, "There's like just like a chunk out. Like,
Yeah.
shouldn't there be like some organs and stuff?"
I'm no doctor, but
Like that was my first thought, and I
Yeah.
started giggling to myself.
Yeah.
Like I know Brandon thought the exact same thing.
well, visually, the first time I saw that, even back then when I watched it with that ex-girlfriend, I laughed, but a good laugh.
Yeah.
Because like that's fucking ridiculous.
It's so stupid.
And I don't think, oh no, I knew you when I saw this, so I had definitely already seen Kung Pao. But like, I love that shot though, because it's silly in a way. They did it in the Coens movie for Netflix. The
Buster Scruggs.
yeah, like,
Did they?
Yeah, when the first story, Buster Scruggs, when
And
he got
it feels
shot.
like everything is just like coming together. Like I don't know what's going on because I just saw clips of Buster Scruggs on my YouTube. Like it just happened to come up.
That whole movie was a fucking
interesting.
bummer, but everything they did, like the cinematography in
Yeah.
that was so good, acting was so good. But the Liam
the
Neeson
worst
one,
stories?
Liam Neeson's for sure.
Is that what that
He
like
throws the kid over in like the river because the kid has no arms, no legs.
that one? And then the on the wagon trail where the girl dies.
Yeah, yeah. And she's like defending, like she's pregnant. Or something. Yeah.
That's fucking rough.
I do like the gold digger one when he's like, and then the guy like he fakes his death sort of, and he comes back and kills him. Like you waited that whole time to try to get up on me because he was like that whole. He was like
okay,
the he's mining for gold and he finally finds it. Yeah, fuck, dude, that's a bummer movie, but it's good.
Yeah.
Anyway, so The Quick and the Dead. It's not. It was a kind of a long movie for what it was, but I didn't notice. It was over 2 hours.
Yeah, I guess so.
But it didn't drag to me.
It wasn't over 2 hours, like hour 48 or something like that.
No fucking way. Look at it right now.
Fucking
I thought it was.
look right
I
at it,
thought
bro.
it was like 2 hours and 2
Hour 48,
Okay,
literally.
that's what I said.
says.
What did you hear? So, fine. It was
So
almost-
Gene Hackman
tell
runs
us.
this town,
Yeah, he does.
rocking it inside out,
Yes, he does.
screams and shouts. And Sharon Stone, it's later revealed that he killed her parent or her dad.
Although why? I don't know if I
He's a
remember
bandit,
that.
bro. Bandit's gonna bandit.
Okay.
Russell Crowe, someone who used to run with him, but he renounced the life, even though he gets dragged back in to enter the contest.
Yeah.
Gunslinging contest to win, which is a lot of money, $130,000
For that time, absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Like
And
you
I
can
guess
live.
I guess he just wins it every year and just pays himself. Like I don't know. Maybe,
Well,
it's,
you know.
maybe it's a tax loophole that
Yeah,
he's trying to
yeah.
take care of. And then all the various characters that come in and enter the dueling contest.
Right.
It's funny.
So you don't.
But she's there just to kill him for
Right. You know she's there to kill somebody, and she's there to kill him. You find out she's there to kill him, but you don't know why.
Right.
And then you find out about halfway through the movie, give or take, and she actually, they start the duel, right? The duels, and so Leo is Gene Hackman's son, which they don't fully establish that until a little bit into the movie either. But it's Leo's son, and then there's other like local gunslingers entering it. There's one guy that's like a celebrity shooter guy. There's an ex was he like sheriff, the guy that the town hires. What was he? I think
He's
was
just a
like,
hired gun.
Oh,
Comes
okay,
out
okay.
to shoot us.
So he's just a mercenary.
Yeah.
And just other people, like other horrible people, and so they all start getting picked off. Now, really, it's not the duel to the death. It's just a duel. If you lose, you can still live until a certain point where Gene's like, nope, it's to the death now, which that sucks. Because what if I didn't want to die, and then now I gotta if I made it this long in this, now I'm gonna potentially fucking die if I lose. So, but pretty much everybody dies though, because there's the Native American guy that's like he gets shot like fucking 6 times. Only the final shot to the head finally takes him out. Maybe it wasn't that many, but still, yeah, I did like his character though, and. So that like Mike is right. So as the competition progresses, though, the stakes get higher. Sharon Stone actually, she has a dinner date with Gene Hackman, and that's when he kind of remembers who she is, and she tries to leave.
Does he?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and she tries to leave, and I think she goes to the grave of the dad, and then the caretaker is there, like, oh, I always knew it was you, and he kind of convinces her to
Kind of the town doctor,
Yeah, yeah.
morgue guy.
convinces her to come back, and she hatches a plan with Russell Crowe, and then he starts to blow, which he probably killed a good amount of people. They blow up those like buildings.
Innocence.
Yeah. So anyway, let's get to the nitty gritty of this movie. The things that we like, don't like, whatever it may
Sharon
be.
Stone's one boob.
Well, not only the one tit, but it was twice. There was unnecessary titty in this movie. I don't know why. Like, I know she showed nudity, but although really quick, the Basic Instinct stuff that I heard, where she didn't agree to show vagina, and like the director is like, oh no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to show that stuff. And she's like, okay, cool. And they still did it, and she was like, what the fuck? But obviously, that's one of the most memorable moments of the '90s. Really, was that '90s? Right?
I think so.
Okay, so like literal, as far as I remember. I mean, I'm sure there's others, but like first time you see a vagina in like in a huge movie like that.
picture.
Yeah, major picture like that. And I mean, that made her career truly, like that's where it just took off. But a little bit of nudity from her, and
Where was the other nudity?
so there's a scene where she was like waking up, a little bit tit, right?
Yeah.
And the scene with Leo, there's a little bit tit.
All right.
Yeah.
What's the one you look down her shirt?
That's the first time.
Okay.
Yeah. Leo's the second
I
time.
gotta watch it again.
So she's a gunslinger. She's there to kill Gene Hackman, so she has to enter this competition. She can't just outright challenge Gene because other people challenge her. And I mean, fuck, I don't even know where to really start with this movie, because thinking about it, there's many scenes that I like in the movie. Like, for example, Leonardo DiCaprio's character. He's this arrogant, young gunslinger, a little bit of a womanizer, as you kind of would be, being popular and stuff like that. Like, sure. And he does hook up with Sharon Stone, I believe.
Are we sure?
That's the thing. I don't know if they actually hooked up, because she was drunk and she said something along the lines of like, oh, you were like this. And so I don't know if they actually smushed, but he also sleeps on a bed of dynamite, which I thought that was like on dynamite boxes, which that was kind of fun. That comes into play later in the movie.
Yeah.
But
Which I guess makes sense for the end of the movie. It doesn't make sense for why he would be doing it in the first place.
right. And he also has a gun shop. Like he sells guns, which I thought that was a little random, but okay. That's fine.
You gotta make a living.
Yeah, continue the story too. Well, you can make a living by your dad being Gene Hackman, and well, granted, he wanted to get away from his dad's shadow, right? He wanted to be his own man, and he even challenged Gene Hackman in the end, and ultimately, Gene Hackman kills his own son out of the pride. He kept telling his kid, "Just quit. Yeah, I'll let you quit. Whatever. You can get out of it." And Leo wouldn't do it, and Leo did get him though. Like he nicked him. Where did he nick him?
The neck.
Neck. But Leo got shot in the belly, and that's probably the worst place to get shot, because, I mean, all the organs. Yeah, there's things in there, like stuff that got in the way of the bullet.
Coming up the works.
Yeah.
Yeah, with bullets.
So we skipped ahead pretty much far to the end, but again, I don't know I don't know where to start. Like, truly, I'm baffled, because even my notes, like, what do you have to say about this movie, Mike?
The town is fun. I don't mind Well, I like the idea of like building the little world around all these westerns. Like it all depends on the town. Like, do you like the town? Do you like the bar or whatever that everyone always starts at? All the characters that are in there. Lance Hendrickson,
Scuzzy people.
was that character's kind of dumb, and his outfit was ridiculous. The black leather with the frilly shirt. So I'm glad he died.
He was the celebrities.
Shooting the magician kind of guy with the cards.
Yeah.
All the participants were fun. Super stinky guys. Like I always think it was like these people must smell like shit.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
Like I can't even imagine not only the regular people, but the hookers. Like the ladies of the night, how filthy they have to be. Not only stinky, but just like all those dudes. Again, it's the oldest profession. Like you got to make your money sound. But like even back in those times with like Jack the Ripper, right? All those prostitutes, like just they were not clean
in England.
The slightest. Yeah. So like that's just got to be filthy. But again, thinking of them being stinky, again, the guys just got to be just as bad with their genitals. They're not washing those balls. They're not doing that shit. Like when you see those baths, like when they're doing movies and there's all that dirt in the fucking, you're just bathing in your own filth. That's why showers are ideal, right? You just rinse it right off. It just goes down your body. But instead, you just lay in your own fucking feces ass because you're not wiping your ass when you're out in the range. You just got to pop a squat real quick and hopefully bury the shit. Like,
I don't take baths.
Oh, never.
Well, one, I don't have a bathtub, so there's that. But after you're sitting in
you totally could just tape it all off, seal it up, and then put like some like a big old tarp in there.
Yeah,
you're fine.
After you're sitting in your essence for like, I don't know, 20 minutes, are you supposed to get up and then drain it and then rinse yourself off with a shower? People just get up and then just wipe themselves off.
If they do, that's disgusting. But that's
well, what if you're taking like just like a relaxing aroma bath with like bath bombs? And
I think I would still shower afterwards though. Like, so I understand what you're saying. Like, what's the procedure?
What's the procedure?
Right?
What's the order of operations in this whole bathing?
So
thing?
if you're filthy and you take a bath, you should absolutely shower. If you are already clean and you bathe and it's just for comfort and it's for like
light some candles, a little Enya going,
a little bit of Sade, I think it'd be okay if you just got up and dried off and did
Maybe
it.
now we just realized what the end song's going to be, but it's fine.
Sweet. So I think if you get up for something like that, you had your bath bomb, it's calm, you got your flower petals in there that are in the water, you got your glitter and all that stuff, and then you don't shower.
That little rack that goes across the bathtub.
So you have your tablet there, you can watch a little bit of your show, you have your headphones, you don't bother anybody else, you got your mimosa,
champagnon.
Yeah. So
how do you not die and like fall asleep and slide under the water?
Hopefully you're tall enough that your feet stop at the edge. Not no Final Destination shit. Like when the kid's in the shower and his feet are slipping and he can't. That's another reference to Final Destination that we've done tonight. At least I have done. That's disgusting though. So I don't think if taking a bath, like again, if I'm dirty, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to shower. But if it's for like, hey babe, let's get in the bathtub. Like, okay, let's shower first. Then we can get in there and then like just a quick shower. Let me just clean my body. Let me clean my body. Let me clean my face. Let me wash my butt. And then like, let's do that. And it's okay. But even then, somebody has to be on the side with the spigot, or not spigot, but the faucet. And so like, because if you're laying, let's just say we're in a tub, right?
Well, are you doing like face to face or like?
Well, if you're doing face to face, one of you has to be
back to back.
One of you has to be on the side with the faucet. But if you're doing back to back, back to belly,
yeah,
that's tough too. Because let's just say I'm the back part, right? Because
I've seen pretty sexy movies where that works out pretty good.
I'm sure it does in movies, but in practical sense, if let's say I'm the back, right? I'm leaning against the back part, and then you're in front of me, so I have my legs wide, and so. You had to squeeze between my legs, right? But that's forcing my legs to stay open like the whole time, which that's going to get very tiring of my legs. Like try having just forcing your legs open for, let's just say we're in the bath for 30 minutes.
I don't even have a bathtub to test this out. Like putting legs on either side of the tub.
Sure.
See how much, lady I can fit in there.
Mm-hmm. But then again, so you're forced to have your legs open for like 30 minutes, and then you have the person in front of you. So now not only are you just sitting there with a fucking hard on, potentially, like, so you gotta sit there for 30 minutes with your dick just fucking, all the blood rushing in your dick.
Yeah.
You can't even think. And then you have to also be there and be like, this is so relaxing, babe, but you really just want to be in that ass or something like that. So it's like, what do you do? And but you're supposed to be in like a therapeutic time or just relaxing. But again, the whole time thing, like
talking about your day.
Can't wait to be in that ass.
Yeah.
You know? And then when you get up, let's say you drain the tub, you got glitter all over you. Like, do you want to really jump into bed and get glitter all over the bed? It's like you just had a bunch of strippers in your house from a club. So it's just not ideal. I would always want to shower. So you shower first, then you bathe, then you shower afterwards. You get off all the glitter.
Just a rinse.
Yeah, get off that lavender. Get off. Yeah. I don't need the soap. Just like get it all right. Take off because with a shower head, hopefully you have a removable shower head. Because like if you don't, what the fuck's wrong with you? You need to have a removable shower head. Like so that way you can adjust the pressures and stuff. Because if you have weak water flow and you have one of those removable shower heads, like it's much better situation. Anyway, move that. Just rinse yourselves off real quick. Maybe don't get your hair wet because you already got wet before. You don't want to have to dry it again. Like whatever. And then go smush boots. Yeah, get in that butt. So that's my etiquette.
Right.
For the bath. Now, granted, you don't have a bath. So what would be your order of operations if you could think of one offhand?
If it's just like the sexy aroma bath,
right?
Like you don't need.
Let's say you're clean.
You don't need the pre-rinse.
Okay, let's say you're clean.
Like that seems excessive.
Let's say you've already showered with your significant other, and then she's like, "You want to just I got a bath bomb. You want to just jump in there real quick?" You're like, "All right." So let's just say that's what it is. You're already clean. Now let me put it this way: if you're not clean, are you still gonna jump in that bitch? You're dirty. You're oily. It's like a long day. Like let's say you've been shopping.
I do get dirty at work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might need a.
Well, let's say it's not a work day.
pre-rinse.
Let's just say it's a weekend. You guys just been hanging out.
That's fine. Then you're cool, bro.
That's tough. So
why? You're in the water.
Let me explain. So I'll always shower in the morning, right? Get off all the dead skin cells, like whatever. Start my day refreshed. Yeah. And then as you go about your day, even if you're not doing anything, you're still getting oily.
Yeah.
You're still getting a little stinky down, a little musky down there. Even if you're not doing anything, your body just naturally gets a little stink. You probably shit.
Once you dip in water, bro, you're absolved of all sins.
That is not.
Scrub it up a little bit.
Am I being fucking? What is it called am I being baptized every time I'm fucking touching water? Were you baptized?
Yes.
Okay. So was I, against my will.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, against my consent. So that's why I have a stain on my forehead. Like there's a mark from the water.
Right.
It just burned.
So whereas I think of two humans as two heavenly bodies, you think of them as two disgusting tea bags steeping
Here's how I think of men. Like you said, tea bags, right? That's the testicles, and they're just stinky and musky, and like it's just nasty. Then when I think of women, same thing, but it's just like their vagina is.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, so what you need to do is you need to be on the forefront and get the ball rolling.
Sure.
It's like, hey, let me get a bath
I'll be that
for
person.
us going.
I'll be the. Oh, okay.
So as you go to turn on the water, like, hey, I'm just getting the water going. Have the shower running a bit. Then you rinse yourself off. And then once you feel good, then you plug the drain and then get the bath starting to rise.
Well, so she doesn't get to clean up?
If she wants, bro.
I'm an advocate for like saving water and like showering together.
Well, why are you taking a bath then?
That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't. I don't. Like even having a tub, I wouldn't want to take a bath. Now, I will 100% support my significant other in taking a bath. Like, hey, I'm going to just take a bath today. That's fine, baby. Do what you got to do. And I'll go play some video games. But like still, if it's back to belly, I don't like that kind of back because I'm forcing my legs open and you're just gonna feel poking in the back. If it's face to face, someone has to have their back on like the faucet, and that sucks.
Well, that's when you have to get like low in it, and it's like on the side of your face.
That's shitty.
Hey man,
and then you're also on the fucking plunger, or you're also on the other thing on the other side. Like that's just not fun either.
Oh, the little.
Yeah, and then one of you gets to recline because one side has the angle and the other side's fucking flat. You're just sitting up straight, like okay, like that's just not pleasant. How do we deviate so far from? I
don't know. I don't know how. Yeah, we went from stinky cowboys to
well,
sexy bath etiquette.
They got to smell filthy. Those cowboys, like no doubt. You're riding the. Fucking,
oh yeah, that guy definitely needs at least 3 pre-rinses.
Yeah, you're riding the Wells Fargo. What's the Wells Fargo? Like the cabin, like the little carts, the horse-pulled cart. What are those called again?
Wagons?
Thank you. Oh, were they wagons though? Because the wagons I always think of with the canopy, right? What's the one without the canopy? It's like a hard top. Is that still a wagon too?
That's the Lexus that does the hard top convertible. That folds.
Okay. Yeah. Is it a wagon though?
Is it being pulled by a horse?
Yeah.
It's either a wagon or a sled. Fucking make up your mind, motherfucker.
I don't know if that's factual. Somebody's going to tell us something. But anyway,
It could be a sleigh if they're reindeer.
Like slay, like you're slaying women.
Like when I slay. I slay.
Mike just did a Beyonce.
Which is the wrong song, but it's fine.
That's that song, right? Put
Yeah,
a ring on
that's-
it. If
yeah,
you like it, then
put a
you should
ring
put
on it, yeah.
He's trying. And then you do
But
this.
I slay is Lemonade? What the fuck's that song called?
When she's beating up that car with a bat and stuff. I think that's on the Lemonade album where she swore and people freaked the fuck out.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of ridiculous. But so The Quick and the Dead. I greatly like this movie.
Formation.
That's what I said. Sam Raimi. I've always liked him. Except Spider-Man 3 was a little rough, but like
very rough.
yeah. I think you and I might have saw that together.
That was like his worst instincts, like run amok.
Yeah, like
Like
he
emo
felt like
Spider-Man?
he felt like he was undefeated.
Yeah,
and he was like, you know what I'm gonna
untouchable.
do? I'm gonna make
this
him
the fuck up.
Yeah, I'm gonna make him super silly, pointing at chicks. Like, oh yeah, he's got the symbiote on him. He's fucking killing it. And then having it wasn't just that part that really killed the movie because I've never liked Franco, as I've talked about. It's just something I've never. And this is pre, the creepy sexual assault sort of stuff and the shitty school making him get naked. Like, just, I've never liked the guy as an actor, whatever it was. So, but having Sandman in there, you got Green Goblin, Venom, and, the shit with him acting all fucking, it's just too much. Now, granted, the Green Goblin, when he came back, he helped Spider-Man and that was fine. But, like, Thomas Hayden Church, such a good Sandman.
Yeah.
Visually, like, looks just like the guy and stuff like that too is great. Topher Grace as Venom, that's like a kick to every comic boy guy's dick. Because thinking of Topher Grace, skinny ass Topher Grace as Venom is ridiculous.
Is it?
Oh, because Eddie
Tom
Brock,
Hardy.
Tom Hardy's a little better because he's a little stockier, but like Eddie Brock was a bigger dude, and not like super muscly like Flash, like not Flash Gordon, but Flash Thompson. But still, like a big dude. And Topher Grace, he's like as scrawny as me and tall. He's like 6'1". Anyway, so The Quick and the Dead. What would you recommend this movie?
I mean, it's fun. I didn't love it, but it's...
But you liked it.
Yeah. Okay. At the beginning, I was like, this is going to be rough. Mm-hmm. But as later on, like I think I always say the same thing. Like if it's effective movie making and storytelling, you kind of get sucked in.
Okay.
Especially like Westerns, like you can have bare bone stories in Westerns.
Yeah.
As long as the action is fun and the characters are interesting, like I'm in. Like,
yeah.
It doesn't take that much to get me to
get
take
hard.
part. Yeah. To get hard.
Yeah.
Especially with Leo on there. You know what I'm saying? And young
Leo,
Russell Crowe.
Yeah. Young Russell Crowe. Even older Russell Crowe. He's gained weight, but he's still got it. Like Nice Guys is still so good. They're really pushing hard for Nice Guys too. I've seen some stuff.
Are they
from
really?
that. Yeah. I would fucking
Who's
love it.
they?
So I've seen some campaigns, like people like having signatures and stuff like that. Apparently Shane Black said he's down to do it if they can get like a budget for it and stuff. It didn't do well, obviously. But I would say there's a pretty good cult following for that movie. What I never knew, remember when Ryan Gosling falls down that hill and he's at the tree? That was Robert Downey Jr. That was a dead Robert Downey Jr.
Really?
That was RDJ just sitting in on that scene.
Oh, that's funny.
So like you see just the slightest little edge of his face, you cannot make it out. But then once you know and you see it, oh yeah, that's fucking RDJ. But because he's a friend of Shane Black, they did Kiss Kiss Bang Bang together, which so good. We should have done that for the K's. But
what did we do instead? Kangaroo Jack? I don't remember.
I know we joked about Kangaroo Jack though. I don't remember. Kindergarten Cop.
Yeah. Come on.
That's fine. Yeah, no, that's fine. So get to the carpet. Put the cookies down.
Shut up.
It's not a tumor. Who is your daddy and what does he do? Anyway, The Quick and the Dead. The notes that I don't know if I didn't save something, so I don't have my notes for it.
That's fine.
But I would watch this movie again many times over. I'm glad that I gave it that chance with the ex-girlfriend to watch that. Like, this was a very long time ago. But, like, because I've known you for nearly 20 years. And this was probably within the first 5 years of knowing you. So, our next movie.
Yes.
Is a Martin Scorsese movie. Why don't you tell us about that? It's called Raging Bull.
Well, it's called Raging Bull.
It's about a donkey. It's an animated movie about a donkey.
Very large land mammals. That's what it's about. How the fuck did I get here? Here we go.
It's about elephants.
Yeah, Raging Bull from 1980.
I might want this steak. There we go.
Based on the book by Jake LaMotta, Peter Savage, Paul Schrader, and Mardik Martin wrote the screenplay.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff's going on there. I think, what did I say? Oh, Peter Savage helped him with the book of his life. Anyway, doesn't matter.
And it said Ray LaMotta was a Jake LaMotta was a like he supervised or something like that. I saw in the credits too.
Yeah, he was all over the place.
Yeah,
but directed by Martin Scorsese. The life of boxer Jake LaMotta, whose violence and temper that led him to the top of the ring destroyed his life outside of it. Starring one Roberto De Niro.
Oh, okay.
As Jake LaMotta. Kathy Moriarty as Vicky, his wife. Joe Pesci as his brother Joey. Frank Vincent as Salvi. That's pretty much it. We're good.
Okay.
Salvi. People.
Vicky sounded like a 45-year-old woman when she's supposed to be 15. Mm-hmm. But anyway.
Very husky voice.
So husky. It kind of makes me think of like a...
Well, you remember her in Kindergarten Cop, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She's the husky voice mom of that other kid.
Yeah. Who's very briefly in it.
Yeah.
But, she's kind of hitting on him just a little bit. Yeah. And he thinks that it's her, but it's not her. Yeah. So, anyhow.
Welcome, the divorcee capital of America.
Yeah.
Whatever she says.
So, I've seen this movie before. You've seen this movie before. Mm-hmm. And there are certain aspects about this movie that I definitely did not remember watching it this time. And it's something that I kind of briefly talked about in Weekly BM. But, so, something that stands out the most to me about this movie is the pedophilia. But, something that I joked about earlier, though, it's of the time, right? So this movie is supposed to take place in the 40s. I'm not saying it's okay, but like the Vicky is a 15-year-old girl, and Jake is respectfully 30.
He's probably a little. That's a good question. I don't know exactly how old he's supposed to be.
Okay.
I can figure it out.
Okay. If you want to, you don't have to.
No.
Let's just say respectfully, he's 28, 30 years old, whatever it is, because he's been fighting for a little. Okay, let's just even say 25. Even that is a little tough. And so the movie starts though. He's in a boxing ring. He's warming up and shit. And this is based on the true events.
So he was 27 when he won the title. So he's like 24 when he meets her, something like that.
Still,
yeah.
So he's a boxer. He's slowly coming up in the boxing world. And taking some time, but he's a successful boxer. But in the round that in the match,
you have those guys in. If I can interrupt you for a second,
yeah.
You have those guys in boxing that are just in fighting in general.
Where are my notes?
That they're just dangerous, and you don't gain much from beating them. So right. I kind of see like that's what he was,
just like a bruiser.
A bruiser, you're probably gonna lose.
A bruiser, a loser, a microphone abuser.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that what that movie or that song said? Okay, sorry.
So like you get to this point where you're not champ. No one wants to fight you. The champ doesn't want to fight you. You're not in the good graces of like the mob who
apparently run it all.
Who run this town. So you're kind of stuck between like a rock and a hard place, which is where he was at.
Yeah.
So in that regard, you can understand his frustration because this is a violent dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can agree.
So not only violent, hugely jealous. Very toxic in all his relations. He beats his wife. He beats his other wife. He makes very poor decisions.
Did he beat his other wife?
He beat the first lady. Like he was pushing her around, and like
Did he?
Like remember she's making that steak, and he's like, "You're gonna overcook it," and he flips the table, and then when Joe Pesci gets there, he grabs her by the hair. She's like, "Please stop, not again!" And he like pushes her.
Oh, okay.
So it's established.
Like I'm like trying to defend him. He's like, well, he didn't punch her, so
yeah. And then like I really like her character too.
Not abuse, and there was the punch.
Yeah. When she's like yelling, I'm like, "You fucking fuck!" Like the way she's swearing at him, like I fucking love this. Anyway, continue.
That's all I got.
Okay.
I forgot what you were saying.
So
I interrupted you.
No, you're fine. So what I was saying was, he's a violent dude, toxic, and do you think there's ever any like was steroids available in the 40s? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Okay, good. So before I really actually get into this, what is your favorite Scorsese movie?
Probably Goodfellas.
Okay. Do you hear that squeaky noise?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's happening. It happens when you don't use a fucking stand like a normal person.
I would say
could you get more comfortable, please?
I could. I would say the Goodfellas is a good guess too. Did he do Casino?
It's not a guess. It's my opinion.
Did he do Casino? I like Casino a lot too, though. But Goodfellas, I would say, is the one that really made me like, okay, so he knows how to do gangsters. And then, so when Guy Ritchie came around, I was like, all right, we got another motherfucker that knows how to do some gangsters, but they're British gangsters, but okay. I would say Goodfellas too, or Casino.
Okay.
They're like, to me, they go hand in hand. You got all the same, you got the same people in there, except for Leota. But like, you still get Joe Pesci, you still get De Niro. And then isn't,
I mean, they're all in this too.
yeah, that's right. But isn't Sharon Stone in that too?
She's
in Casino. Yeah, she's in Casino. So anyway, there's a lot of classical music, which I fucking love, and
that was one of the things. Well, it's kind of like a punch to the gut opening to the movie. Yeah. It starts with, oh my god,
that's a long shot.
Pietro Mascagni, the Intermezzo in his opera.
But it's a long shot of that opening title sequence. Like it's like 5 minutes of him just going back and forth.
Is it 5 minutes?
I don't know. I'm not good with time.
Yeah.
But also with this transfer on HBO Max, could you hear anything?
What do you mean?
It was tough for me to hear. Like I had to turn the volume up really high.
Trying to think. Yeah, maybe I did.
So I put brain damage fighters. So I imagine I was just thinking like this guy's fucking messed up in the head, getting hit in the head so many times.
Yeah, but he's only 25 at this point.
So
like,
what? CTE, bro?
Yeah.
CTE. One hit to the head, one concussion.
They also did fight a lot more back then. So.
And I'm sure those gloves are not up to the standard, they are now to protect the fighter a little more.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're probably just basically bare knucks fighting.
Gloves are for your hands. They're not for your face.
What did I say?
No, you said like better gloves and stuff like that. Like they're there to protect your hands, not protect the guy's face who you're pummeling.
But it still helps, right? There's still padding in there, right? Okay.
I mean, the damage is done with your head jostling in your brain, cerebral fluid. It's not because there's like a pillow that's hitting you.
The boxing in the ring made me appreciate Rocky's fighting in the ring.
I just rewatched Rocky 2.
Yeah.
Probably right after this.
In a sense, though, like the choreography of the boxing was just, again, this was in the 80s. It's what Rocky was in the 80s too. But like
70s.
Fuck, it was before this movie?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, then Jesus Christ, I definitely appreciate Rocky more than this.
Overall, doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because like some of the punches that they're doing are clearly no contact. I know in Rocky there's many times where they're punching, they still react, but like I liked Rocky's boxing a lot better than this one. But then there's many things about
it's very different though.
It is, but there's things about this movie that I like a lot better than the Rocky, like the cinematography and the camera choices, like the blocking of it and stuff was just so fucking good.
Well, it's funny because like Scorsese, when I was like reading it, which kind of like I didn't love it, but it's whatever. Like he wasn't a boxing fan to like this day. He
didn't want to do the movie.
He didn't want to do the movie. So, like in that regard, he's treating it as choreography, as a dance or whatever. Not into like the sporting aspects of it, which is fine because like it's Jake's story, like just the downfall of this fucking violent, jealous, petty, angry,
You fuck my brother?
corrupt person.
Yeah. Was he corrupt? Oh yeah, I guess he threw a fight.
I'm morally.
Okay, sure.
So in that regard, yeah, I understand. But like the Rocky difference with this and Rocky, like Marty wanted like real like intimate.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm gonna say? Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. But like
when I was talking to Marty about this movie, I was just like, "Look, here's the thing, Marty. Do you mind if I call you Marty with an I?" No.
Call you Mark. Can I call you Mark?
We need more Mart license plates.
But like, there's almost never a shot from outside the ring of them fighting. Right? It's always intimate. It's either like face to face, staring at the camera, right?
Yeah.
Or like super duper close ups of like fucking blood being splattered by their fists.
That blood splatter in the last fight where there's splashes on those 3 guys. I didn't remember that either. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That's fucking rough. I mean, I'm sure that kind of shit happens if you're sitting that close, but
but like in contrast with Rocky, where it's shot like you're watching the fight like on TV. So you hear the commentators the whole time.
And Balboa goes down.
Yeah, exactly.
Balboa goes down. They never said that until the end last fight, but anyway.
But he's like, oh, the champ's hurt. He's protected his ribs.
Yeah.
So, with some like in-ring stuff mixed in with it, but like it's shot like a boxing event. This is like just you're in the ring.
You're in the ring. You're Jake. You're Sugar Ray. Right. You're Yeah, the guys. Well,
Clarence Clamato.
the note I have next is New Yorkers. Am I right? When it comes to their yelling and their obnoxiousness, just the loudness of them. Like, fuck you. Yeah, you got to live the whole neighborhood here, yeah? Like, just, that's what I was going to say to you. Hey,
Come
Mike.
over here, Roger.
Yeah. So when you're in New York, did you ever experience
Have I
anything
been to
like
New
that?
York? Have I mentioned that on the
I don't know
podcast?
if you, with your puffy jackets and stuff like that.
Hell yeah.
And beanies, maybe. But did you experience any of that when you went to New York?
What? Straight out the dungeon, but no, I'm sorry.
Did you experience any like loud New Yorkers like that when you were there?
No, not really. Maybe I was just like in a. No, I wasn't in a touristy area. But I was in Washington Heights with all the Latinos.
Yeah, I get
so
it. You were,
not in the Bronx with all these folks.
yeah. So, I mean, looking at that house too, I mean, that's a pretty good sized place for what they had. But then when there was a moment in the movie where De Niro's like, I'm not going to make weight. I'm going to lose $15,000. And I thought, how much are you making for these fights? Because, like, I know if you don't make weight, yes, you do get some pay taken away. But, like, for that time in the 40s to get $15,000 taken away out of your thing, are you getting, like, $30,000? Because if so, that's a lot of fucking money, especially when you're doing so many fights in 1 year.
If I had to guess, it's probably 30% of his purse, right?
Okay.
So if that's $15,000, 10% would be $5,000.
But
so
he said, I thought he said,
$50,000 might be his purse if that's the math we're doing.
but either way, $50,000 in the 40s, you can buy so many houses for that. Like to hear, like, you know, even 30 years ago, like when you and I were very fucking young and buying houses that are like 2-bedroom, 2-bath for $200,000, not even $300,000. And then now that same house is worth like $1 million. It fucking sucks for us.
Yeah, please stop reminding me because it's making me angry.
It is. So you didn't experience anything like that in New Yorkers. So my next question for you, sir, is what is the deal? No, it's, has anybody died in the ring that you've watched? Like not live. Like anybody been like
Had like a brain aneurysm after a fight that I've seen?
no, like literally in the match.
Has it happened in boxing? I don't know what you're asking.
I think it's happened.
Yes,
but like,
it has happened.
But
in
like
boxing.
you never watched something where
No.
Okay. What can't you do in boxing? Like when you're hitting the person, like what you can't hit the back of the head.
Correct.
You can't use elbows.
Can't hit him in the spine.
Well, why would their back ever beat or somebody? Why would their back ever beat them?
Like if you block, like you can't
swing around.
Yeah.
Okay. So what else is there? You can't hit the back of the head. Can't hit the spine. What else can't you do?
Can't bite him.
Can't knee him.
Can't
Yeah,
hit.
you can't bite him.
Can't headbutt him, even though it happens all the time.
Yeah.
Especially with like southpaw versus orthodox fights. Like it just happens.
Can you explain to people? I know what that means. But can you explain to people what that means? I know southpaw's. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Right. So normally, if you're right-handed, you're right hand dominant. So you want your power hand behind you. So if you're like fighting in a fighting stance, like you have your left hand forward and your right hand back. So your left hand would do all your jabbing, that sort of stuff. Southpaw is someone's left-handed, so their right hand is forward. They would jab with that, and their left hand is back behind them.
Why do they? Do you know why they gave it that term, southpaw?
It's fun. Well, when Rocky says it, like, yeah, this guy, he's right. His left hand's facing left, so this is south, so that's a southpaw. So he's left-handed, so he does it. So that's how Rocky explained it.
Okay, perfect.
I don't know why exactly it's called that.
I like. Is there anything else you can think of in boxing that's not allowed?
I don't. We can't kick.
Not with that attitude. I mean, yes, Mike Tyson, that motherfucker will bite. So when the lion said, "Come on, give me a Coke," I thought that was funny because the way they just talk to other people, "Hey, come on, just give me a Coke." Like he just walked up to that concession stand and he says to this Jake, that is, and he says, "Come on, give me a Coke." Like that's just the worst attitude to have. You know what I mean? Going like the next thing though, again, banging a 15-year-old. So Vicky, coming to this first idea of pedophilia. Because now at this point, when Jake meets this girl, his wife's already left him.
Has she?
Yeah, she said, "I'm out of here. You're going back. I'm gone." Okay. And you never see her again. So remember when he takes her to the house? There's nobody there.
Okay.
So anyhow, he's okay. So you said how old was he? 24.
Probably something like that.
And he meets this woman Vicky at a pool. All these adult males are hanging
this
out at 15-year-old girl.
pool.
Yeah, 15-year-old girl who clearly looks like she's 35. But at the time, I think you said she's 18.
When she filmed the movie.
She's really 18, yeah, when she filmed the movie. Beautiful woman, but her voice is raspy and old lady like. And so Jake wants to get along. You know, all these guys are flirting with her. Apparently, she never gave any of these guys time of day. But how quickly he's like, when Joe Pesci introduced him, like, hey, it's my brother Jake. Yeah, you like my car? He takes her for a ride, and he's like, hey, get closer. Gets closer. Hey, they're back to the place. Hey, sit closer to me. Sits closer. Like, is that how easy it was in the 40s? Just to be like, hey, get closer. Hey, you in the front, scooch closer. Like, what the fuck is it? And then also, again, a 25-year-old man, like, that's just
not good
in the slightest like that. But that was the life, right? He wrote this exactly how it was. Like, they filmed it like how, probably as close to it as it was. Like, that shit's gross. But again, it's fine because it's of the time. And then she has kids. What is she, like 18 and has like multiple kids with them and stuff? And
the timeline seems a little weird, right? Because it seems like only a couple years passed and they already have like 3 kids. Mm-hmm. But you know,
but there was a point where she's like, I'm 21, and like when Joe Pesci catches her at the club, and she's like, I'm 21 and I'm stuck at home, thinking that guy ruined her life because like she's so young and he's already, you know, in his mid-20s, and now he's, let's just say, in his early 30s, and you know, he babied her up so early in life and stuff like that, and just she couldn't experience all these things in life. And
she's not the first woman that's happened to. She's not going to be the last. Yeah.
No. And he's abusive towards her, abusive towards his brother, like super jealous dude. She sees him talking to any guy, and you just see him just like looking, watching. He had a prosthetic nose the whole time, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Joe Pesci had fake teeth, right?
Did he?
It looked like it. It looked like they're kind of caps.
Maybe.
Anyhow. Just super fucking toxic. Now, I know there are some relations out there, women will like a possessive man. I get it. Like to have that sort of like possessiveness of your significant other and stuff. And to an extent, sure. But like, it just seeing it just, and watching it, knowing that those tendencies that people will have, and knowing that it's so toxic, it's just super. Like, she's not like it. She didn't like that shit at all. She wanted to live a little. She wanted to go out, but she never really got to because he's always doing all that other shit. She had to be home with the kids, all this, which the kids you almost never see. But like, it's just shit. And the guy was a shit. And as he, you know, progresses in his life, just the poor decisions that he makes, it just slowly starts to trickle down. So
yeah, because like, do you feel sympathy for him at the end?
To be honest, a little bit, yeah. But it's his own doing.
As a human being.
Yeah, it's his own doing, though.
Right.
Like, the poor decision he made, like, hey, are you 21? How do I know you're 20? Prove it to me. And they, like, make out. Turns out the bitch is 14.
Yeah.
And then, hey, how about you? Are you 21? Yeah. Hey, prove it to me. And they make out. I don't know about her, but the one 14-year-old girl, like, and you see those pictures of him, it's like, that's tough. Because, you know, you see her in her school clothes, and then you see her all dolled up. Like, I get it. But at the same time, you don't got ID. How the fuck you get in my club? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, obviously, if you just would have taken a little more precaution, sure. But that's his own fucking doing. So seeing that downfall is great, but then there is a little sympathy in it. But at the same time, I'd still rather see him fail. So anyway, Mike, tell me, this movie, not one of your favorite Scorsese's, but is it in a top 5 Scorsese?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
It's just like around every corner, like it's just it just pops.
Sure.
At least to me. Like I said, like when that music hits, like at the beginning, and it's just the slow mo of him, like dancing it out.
Yeah.
Even
was he shadowboxing or just dancing? I don't think. Was he throwing some punches?
Yeah, I'm sure he was. Okay. It's a fucking boxing movie. You're not shadowboxing. What are you doing?
Imagine if there's a boxing movie, there's no fighting in it, which would be great. I'd fucking love that.
But even like the exacting nature of like just the lines of the ring or the ropes of the ring with like the credits like in between the ropes, mm-hmm. like I don't know, even that just like I don't know, just pops for me with that music going. Like it's almost one of those things like the first shot you see, like, oh man, you're like in for a treat when you watch the movie.
Yeah. It's a good movie.
Looks beautiful.
It's a great fucking movie. It's the context of the movie which is unsettling. It's like Wind River. Great fucking movie, but holy shit, this whole movie like a fucking bummer.
Because like at the beginning, you in certain sense, you can understand his frustration, right?
Sure.
Because
Not getting anywhere.
His brother even says like, "Hey, he just wants to do it on his own. Doesn't want any help from anybody."
Yeah.
Which is fine. Like having somebody not wanting to rely on the help of like the mob, essentially. That's admirable, almost, right? But then you see like his frustration. But it's hard to tell if that's who he is as a human being or that's the life that he chose led to him being more kind of angry. You know what I'm saying?
Well, human beings are, in essence, they're full of faults.
Right.
Like the choices that we make.
But like, was it his frustration with how long it took for him to actually get to where he wanted to go? So that by the time he got there, he was already a broken person.
Well, how would you do that, right? If you're a fighter coming up in that world and you're not getting a proper shake, right? Because the mob is kind of dictating certain things and you're just a stubborn fuck that wants to do it on your own, which I get that. Like being too proud, like you don't want to get help and everything. But like, how would you handle that? Would you just cave to the mob?
Easy, 100%. No, I don't know. That's a good question, but I don't know how it would
because ultimately he does sort of cave to them, but in a bad way. Because then he gets kicked out. He gets banned for like 2 years because
is it? I think it was just a year.
Either way,
but yeah,
he throws a fight because they're like, "Hey, you got to go down," and
does it terribly.
He does it. He just doesn't fight back, and so then they accuse him of fighting. He's like, "Oh, that's bullshit," but like he's crying and stuff after the fight, which that was kind of heartbreaking. But at the same time, you did it to yourself. You could have just easily, what was his name in Snatch? Brad Pitt's Mickey. You could have just Mickey the shit out of it and just voted or just bet on yourself, you know. But that was bare knuckle boxing, and you ain't fucking with that like that. You're breaking some hands and faces. So it's
right because he kind of treats her
Vicky.
like Vicky. Maybe it's like a goal that he's just unwilling to relinquish once he has it.
Yeah.
Like he spends all this time to get what he wants, right? The championship. That's what he wants to be. I just want to be the champ, right? That by the time he gets her, like the idea of sharing her at all or anything like that. Like I don't.
He's not even sharing her. She's like greeting people and saying hi, and he's like, "Arr," and just so possessive over her.
Yeah.
Again,
it's pretty gross.
Yeah, and it just brings up the toxic masculinity of it. Like she's not okay with it. Like if she was in on the take, you know, she's like, I do like that possessive. That's different. She does not. And
because like his brother is violent too, right?
Yeah, he's definitely
like
abusive
he beats
too.
The shit out of what's his face, Salvi.
Yeah. So, but like, you know, he's abusive verbally towards his wife, but I don't think we ever see him hit. But like again, of
he's
the time,
about beating up his kids,
the New Yorker, you know, like you think of the honeymooners, right? One of these days,
yeah,
and like it was tolerated, it was understood at that time. Like, oh, you know, it's like you're fucking Sean Connery. So yeah, you gotta hit a woman, you know, you gotta hit her across the face, and that's a deep cut.
But like Jake is like beyond reason.
Oh, for sure, he punched the shit out of Vicky, knocked her the fuck out, and she had the bruise across her chin. And then, you know, she's coming in to leave him, and he's like, "Hey, I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry, right. Baby."
But like even before that, like once he has like an idea in his head, like there's no
oh yeah, you fuck my brother
from it.
You fuck my brother,
right?
Like and he.
But it's almost like there's no reasoning with someone like that. Like whenever, like as soon as the seed, it's like he's like incepting himself, like at every second.
He's planting the seed. Yeah, he's cracking his own fucking safe. Oh God!
Like Leo and like Tom Hardy would literally just have to like open a couple doors and just walk in. Like, there's.
You don't have to say anything.
This is all it.
Just open the door and be like, huh?
Just drop like a picture of a dick in his brain. And like he's all right. He's off to the races.
Not even that. Drop a picture of a dick. Just say a name. Just be like your brother, and then you fuck my brother. You fuck him. And then I do like her though, where she's like, I fucking suck all their cocks like I did.
Yeah.
Which. I wonder if there's a little bit of truth to that. You know what I mean?
Nah,
maybe, I'm sure she's egging him on. Sure.
Sarcastic.
But like, maybe not for the brother. But who knows? Those other guys like, oh, I fucking suck their fucking cocks. Yeah, they fuck me. And I was like, oh my God. I remember
that's
that.
when she was growing up. Like she was 15 years old.
Yeah, but 25-year-old dudes want to fuck her. You know,
I understand.
So maybe she was getting blasted by these dudes, but at the same, I'm sure she was egging them on. I put at least fake it because the meaning of that fight. you can see the hatred on her face. Yeah, so like there is many
Seething.
times, just like where she's barely clapping for him or whatever, like because it's that match. I don't know if he was fighting Sugar or he was fighting some. Oh no, it was the fight where after she's like, oh, he's a pretty guy, like he's gonna do it. And he
Gennaro,
yeah,
whatever
and he immediately like, what do you mean by that? You know what I mean? And like pushing her around and shit, like, and then he literally destroys that guy, right? And but like when he's getting introduced, like she's
Fucking Jared Leto's him.
oh fucking A from Fight Club, yeah. But like when they're doing the introduction, she's just like giving him the dirtiest fucking look, just the undeniable hatred that you have for someone, but you stay in that relationship because you have kids with them. You're like
It's just the time.
yeah,
Yeah.
and people don't divorce in the 40s and shit, like that's frowned upon.
I do like when she finally leaves though.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just like there's no emotion. Like I'm just in the car. I'm barely gonna crack the window.
Yeah,
And just telling like I'm leaving. I'm taking the kids. Fuck you. I'm out of here.
yeah.
Like not even listening to him reasoning.
And I do love that when he comes to get his fucking belt to take the jewels off it, and the jeweler's like, "Where's the belt? Like, I would have paid you more for the belt." He's like, "No, but just pay for the jewels." Like, you fucking idiot. Anyway, I'm glad she got away, and as she should.
I was going to ask you. I'm sure the answer is no. But two questions. One, have you ever met anybody who's that like kind of jealous and weird about?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. In my youth, I was actually quite a jealous person too, and it is super shitty to have those.
Not to that
Not
point,
to no,
though.
not to like that, but like still, and it's not like who you talking to, that kind of shit. But like, I could definitely be jealous, and I've gotten better over the years for sure as I've matured, but like never in that instance. But I've known people that'll be like that. Like I've seen texts like why are you talking to him for so long? When I worked for this certain company many years ago, there was a girl that we worked with that she got hired the same time I did, like maybe a week after me, but she got there because of her boyfriend, and her boyfriend was I don't know, he was one of the managers, and the thing is, all the calls were recorded, and even if she was calling him, like to his extension, it's recorded. So. Again, this is shitty. My boss at that time, we're cool. And when that girl wasn't there, like we would sometimes see the calls like, hey, why was this call to this person with the boyfriend only like 20 seconds? So we'd pull the call, listen to it. And she'd be like, why is she in there for so long? Get her out of there. And vice versa. Like there would be times when I would be at her desk because we're like training and something like that. And he would like text her and I would see it. Because she'd open her phone right there. And it's like, why is he at your desk? Or why is he, sitting there? And just back and forth. And we're at fucking work. I would never at that degree, never in that super possessive sense. But there have been women that I dated that like the possessiveness. So I mean, I'd acted up a little bit too. But there's certain times where it's just like, it's unnecessary. Now, if there's like a lot of contact, like the significant other talking to opposite sex, and it's the flirtatiousness of it, and they're doing it to egg you on. Oh my god, girl, like that's the fucking worst. But like.
The worst or the best?
Yeah, well, there was a woman that I dated that would do that stuff deliberately to get a rise out of me. I'm like, get the fuck out of here with that shit, because that's so fucking toxic. So it's just, jealousy is a very fickle thing, and it sucks to be in that state if someone's doing it on purpose or whatever. But it's just super fucking toxic.
Yeah, it's poison.
Yeah, truly. So I was curious, why does it say Jake on the back of their shirts and not LaMotta?
I don't know.
When they're walking out to the ring, like they all said Jake. It was just they had to pay per letter and they just didn't want to do it. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I can answer that.
Okay. I thought you knew stuff, but I guess not. I do. Again, I put like, you fuck my wife. Like I remember that whole thing. That whole scene is just super fucking shitty, but like just the way he asks it too. Like
he kind of reminds me of like a it's funny, I keep seeing clips of like, it seems like it's calmed down a little bit, but I still see them, but like of like flat earthers, or even like MAGA folks too. Like, no matter what you say, like there's almost no reasoning with them.
Yeah.
So because you want to say like, oh, how you really, really reach people is to engage with them and exchange ideas with them.
Right.
To the point where like, well, maybe he'll help you see things a different way. And but really what you want is you want them to see it your way too, which is, we're all guilty of that. I understand.
Sure.
But really it's that communication with somebody that like, that's how we both grow. That's how we both learn.
Supposed to, yes.
Supposed to. But like, and I've had it with like customers too, like, oh, there's just no reaching you. Like there's like, I'm just talking to a wall here.
Mm-hmm.
Like whatever is in your head, like you've already, decided
you're set to it. Like
you're set to it. And
yeah.
there's
no deviation.
There's no reasoning.
Uh-huh.
So I always think it's funny, like, because you always see clips of like people like talking with like the flat earthers, and like they're not listening to you now. Maybe at some point they will, but now is not the time. So that's why I feel like Jake is like, no matter what's like in his head, like it's already like there's no bending around that will that he has.
Yeah.
Which I guess works in the boxing ring when you're in there and it's fucking
focus and anger, hatred.
It's the 10th inning, the 10th round, and he needs a knockout to win this fight, which he does a couple times in the movie. But like
or even
when
the 13th round, final round.
When it comes to real life, like that stubbornness and that like sole focus, like that leads to his downfall a lot too, I think.
Sure.
Like, because even talking to his brother, like imagine like accusing your brother or something like that. Like,
he's like, I'm not even going to dignify that with an answer.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking nuts. You need help.
Which everyone's kind of squirrely around him too, because he is so dangerous, I guess. Mm-hmm. Like that doesn't help either. But yeah, I think that's one of the main things that leads to his downfall too. Like there's just unable to reason.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if that's because he's stupid or he's so violent. And it just leads to just him just being like a brick wall of fist that there's just no reasoning
wall
with.
of fist.
You know what I'm saying?
Not just a wall of fist. It's a brick wall of fist. Yeah.
Well, because you're not going to reason with it. You're not going to break through it.
You're going to break
like,
it down. Yeah.
It's just going to.
You can break down some fists. But
tumble onto you.
Sure.
So.
Did you know that there was a time when, because you know how the brothers never reconcile really, right? Like,
right.
He never really reached out. You know, he beat him up, and it's been years, and so time passed, and then he runs into his brother, and it's just like, come on, get off me, whatever.
Which is funny because like there's like I think it's on Wikipedia, like it talks about the synopsis, like, oh, the end, his brother does forgive him, but
that wasn't
that's
really.
not a. He's like forgiving him. He's like,
whatever, get
telling
off.
him whatever, just get the fuck away from me.
Yeah, he's moved on with his life. Yeah. Like it's been, let's just say, 10 years. There was a time when I was mad at you for not reaching out to me and stuff like that.
Me?
Yeah, like you wouldn't text, you wouldn't really call. It's always me doing that. I'm the kind of person to do that with people, though. I'll be the one to reach out. And I know some people are just like that, and that's kind of how you are. But like it's just
there was a few girlfriends of yours though where there was a bit of time where you wouldn't call me either.
Oh, for sure, because I was fucking or something like that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But no, I get it. Like, and also I live cities away and stuff too. So we had our separate lives, and I hated it. And so it's like I needed some of that, some dick around me too, and not just the vagina. No, but like there's times where it seemed like I was always reaching out, and I wouldn't get like a text from you. I was like, this motherfucker. And I think I brought it up to you too. Mm-hmm. And so that's why even with
definitely something I need to be better at. Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like there's a lot of friendships that I would have where I would be that person to kind of keep it together. But I just want to say, like, keep, get it together, Mike. That dolly zoom was fabulous. The belly shot where he's like kind of, his belly was definitely, he was working on the TV, I think. And his belly was just,
Yeah.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. No, this is in reference to when he's on stage and his belly is just protruding out a little bit. And I like that. I don't recall the 15-year-old girl part or 14-year-old girl, but I remember the jail scene where he's punching the wall crying and stuff. And then this movie, to me, went 15 minutes too long. Like, it probably could have ended with him in jail maybe or something, but then to him for the extra club scene, for him talking to Joe Pesci, for him to just go, him talking in the mirror, they could have tightened it up a little bit. Like, come on, Marty, like, get it together. Like, you motherfucker. But this movie, though, it's a bummer, but, like, in a good way, though. Great movie, but still, like
one of the most... I forgot, like, one of, like, the most famous shots is right after the commissioner comes to him, talking about, hey, there's some shady betting going on in this fight. Nothing weird's going to happen. Like, oh, no, we're on the up and up. I'm going to knock this guy out. I was like, all right, just checking away.
Yeah.
And then he, like, puts his arm around Joe, and, like, they're walking down the corridor. Like, that's one of the most famous shots. I forgot it was attached to that, them, like, lying to the commission at that point, but still beautiful. It's funny.
Yeah, like again, it was funny too because I was thinking like, who is this guy? Not remembering that was the commish. And then when the fight's over, when they throw it, and then the commissioner's like,
Motherfucker.
yeah, you fucking lied to me, you fucking son of a bitch. And so then again, it's banned for. You said it was a year. I thought it was 2, but yeah, you're probably right. So Mike, did you like this movie?
Come on.
Did you like it more than The Quick and the Dead?
Of course.
How dare you, sir? No, that's fine.
It's funny because it's a fucking bummer, but it's just so great to look at and like be angry at him. Like what the fuck are you doing with your life?
Yeah.
And then Joe's just fun too, like just being around. Like
Yeah.
he's super fun.
Yeah. That whole beginning scene, like, punch me. Like, I was just like, oh my God. Like, this is just, it's hard to watch.
It's cringy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you're just a shitty fucking dude.
I mean, every time like he tries to interact with people, it's almost cringy.
Yeah.
I get real like Travis vibes from him too, from Taxi Driver.
Okay. Yeah.
He's just not made for this world.
I don't know. My eyes are so itchy.
Yeah, get it together.
I'm sorry. Go
There's some
ahead.
fucking context.
I don't need, my vision's perfect.
Okay,
But
if you say so.
Okay. So continue.
Um,
What's that his name? Fickle or something like that? Charles Fickle?
Bickle.
Bickle. Okay, sorry.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're almost like not built for this world, but
Yeah.
they're trying to navigate their way through it. You're doing a terrible job.
Nomad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you like the stylized ring? Like all the smoke, barely seeing the crowd.
Yeah, I mean, I was fine with that. There's even, it seemed like a couple of times where the ring just seemed really big.
Yes.
Like, and I was kind of like,
They use different rings
Okay.
for different scenes,
Okay.
depending on what he's trying to do.
because again, I was kind of like, this ring looks like it's 20 feet long.
There's somewhere it's like super
Yeah.
narrow, but super
Yeah.
long.
Yeah.
It's huge.
But I get it. Like, as a
Yeah.
style, sure. Like, I mean, with that Sugar Ray shot, with that dolly, it had to be a bigger ring so you can get that sort of tight shot.
Right.
But, yeah, I mean, I thought it was visually very appealing to me. I'm not a cinematographer in the slightest. I'm not good with lights. I'm not good with understanding that stuff. The smoke obviously had its own, it helped with some of the shots too. So that way with the smoke, you can you don't see the background as much because it's more, it's more foreground with a lot of that. So I liked it. And
They had to like hang fucking tarps just to contain the smoke,
did they?
like while they were filming. Yeah.
Oh, good. I mean, that's good. And I don't know how they did those shots. How they do the smoke? Would they light some shit on fire?
Smoke machine.
Oh, I guess so, honey. For some reason, I didn't think they would have that in the 80s, but I guess that would make sense. Yeah. Anyhow.
Fog machine, whatever,
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Is there anything else you have about this movie?
I mean, that's pretty much it. Like I said, like the end is interesting because like let's compare it to like Boogie Nights where we saw, right? Like, do you feel bad for Dirk at the end of Boogie Nights?
To an extent.
To an extent.
Yeah, just like I do with LaMotta. Like, to an extent, like, you did this all to yourself, but there's still a little bit of sympathy that I'll have for someone, but not in the sense that I would help them. Like, I was watching, yeah. Like, you're like, for Dirk Diggler, right? You wanted more, you're the star, and you push everybody away, and then now you're a fucking cokehead, and now you're doing all this horrible shit, and then you luckily at the end, you kind of get something good going for you. So hopefully you don't fuck that up. But you did it to yourself. Right. LaMotta, you did it to yourself. You're beating your fucking wife. She leaves you. You're pushing. You beat up your brother. He leaves you. He doesn't. Technically he could have had a chance. He called. He just didn't talk to me. Like, suck my fucking dick. But like,
That was funny.
Yeah. You did it to yourself. But a certain aspect of me, sure. There's some feelings in that. Like, yeah, man, you're fucking up. Get it together. Tighten up, LaMotta. But still, not that much though.
Right.
Like, it's just
especially there. Like, it just I feel sympathy in that because it's like so pathetic.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Well, he's hitting women, and hitting a woman non-consensually. I'll say because some women, not just women in general, people like to get like a slapper, right, or something like that. Like they're just
I don't
into
know where
it.
this is going.
They're
but
just
all right.
into it. Like that's just the
Okay.
thing. They're just into it. Like not to harm somebody, but you're just a little into it. Like that's a kink or something like that. Many people have like a striking kink and stuff.
Okay.
So non-consensually hitting somebody, striking somebody, you're beating your fucking wife. You beat up your brother. Like, I've never been in a fight in my life. I would never want to be in a fight. Like, there's no reason that nothing's going to solve it. Like, oh, you're stronger or you're faster or whatever it is. Sweet. Now, watching some of those public freakouts and stuff like that where people getting hit. Did you see the one in the airport? It was like an airport, like not attendant, but like someone that works at like one of the desks. Like, I don't know the full context of it, but he's the other guy who's just a customer. From what I understand, he didn't start anything. He was trying to like de-escalate it, and maybe some words were exchanged, and the flight attendant person or whatever he was got offended. So he struck the guy, and the guy fought back, and the flight attendant got knocked the fuck out. Like he got knocked, he fell back, he's bleeding from his head because he hit his head on something, and he kind of kept trying to go. It's like, dude, you already were down. You're fucked up, and he's getting up like all wobbly. You're already done. And the other guy's trying to like, hey, like calm the fuck down. You hit me first. Like there's no reason for it. So I don't feel for the guy, but I feel for the guy. And knowing that it's kind of loosely based on a true story, like
I think it is based like
well, yes, but like
based on his book, but yeah,
sure. But there could be a little bit of like
deviation, yeah,
yeah. But still, like you deserve everything that came to you, dude. And
yeah, like I've never read the book, but if it's that brutally honest, it's funny. We're just talking about the Conor McGregor documentary on Netflix, which I'm sure is just fucking whitewashed, completely. And like if that's like the lie you have to tell yourself to, like I said, I haven't seen it, so I don't know exactly, but
sure.
At least everything that I've read so far, it's been like, oh yeah, of course they self-produced and it's going to show them in like the best light possible. But if that's like the self-reflection that you need, just to lie to yourself and everyone,
well, not like
see what kind of person you are. Like that's all right. It is.
I wouldn't say. I know what you mean. I wouldn't necessarily say it's lying, but you're only doing the good things, right? So that's the shit.
It is lying. Or it's omitting the truth.
There it is. So, yeah. So it's like, hey, I didn't lie. I just didn't tell you.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But
which, like I said, like if Jake's book about his life. I want to interrupt
you really quick. I'm sorry. I already figured out what our S movie is going to be, and then I already know what our T movie is going to be.
You already know them,
and you're gonna like it.
Okay.
Okay. So go ahead.
What was I saying? I already forgot what I was
saying. Jake, I know I interrupted.
Yeah. If he's being that honest, brutally honest about himself, like you can appreciate that. Like he recognizes the kind of person that he is and what it's led his life to become.
Does he?
I mean, he wrote the book.
Okay, that's fair.
Right. No, I like I said, I haven't read it, so I don't know. But I'm saying if that's the case, like it was this brutally honest and willing to share that, like even if it puts you in this terrible, terrible light.
Yeah.
Like that's at least commendable.
Sure.
As shitty of a person as you are.
Again, watching it, I was like, man, he was okay with
this
like
is
doing
not
this
a
shit.
Flattering portrayal.
Yeah, not at all, not in the slightest. And good. So
whereas like if you compare that to like, because there's no glamorization of Jake in the movie, right? Mm-hmm. Right? Like it's raw. Mm-hmm. Whereas if you compare that to like The Dirt, the Motley Crue documentary.
Never saw it.
Okay. It's just them being pieces of shit. But they're almost relishing in it when some of the shit that they did too, like it's not much better than the shit that Jake was doing.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to fucking underage girls and shit like that.
Good.
Like, or even like when you talk about, I think Steven Tyler mentioned it like in his book where like he's talking about like, there was like that underage girl where he like took parental, like adopted her from her parents or whatever, just to like fly her around the world and just fucking bang her and then just left her for nothing.
Oh, sweet.
Like these are like self-admittance of guilt that they use with them. So like, that's always like, there's like some weird stuff going on there, but,
I would be interested,
but it's like, they're saying it, but they're not atoning for these sins that they've committed. Like it's just glorified.
Right.
Which is, I think what's happened with like the Dirt stuff with like Motley Crue. And like, you guys are just saying like, oh, look how wild and crazy we were. But like, there's no like self-reflection in there.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I haven't read the book, so I can't speak exactly to it, but that's the impression that I get.
Yeah, something that you read. So I know Britney Spears is trying to do something, and other people are like trying to get her to stop because I guess the shit she's experienced and the stuff she's gone through. So other celebrities or whatever are sending her lawyer like, you know, hey, don't say shit about me or whatever. But it's her fucking life. She can say whatever the fuck she wants. If it's true, say whatever the fuck she wants. And I forgot who said it, but it's like, it's your life. You can tell it or something along those lines. And which is absolutely right. And again, with Jake, it's, you're right. It's not a very good reflection of him. It's not often that you see stuff where it's based on somebody that it's in a negative light, like truly how the person was. So I applaud him for that in a sense, but at the same time, you're a fucking piece of shit. And
whereas compared to like recently, like Wolf of Wall Street, Like that's
Yeah,
the
that's a
complaint
little-
people have about that. Like I can kind of see that
Yeah.
where it's kind of glorifying.
With the shitty shit that he did.
Yeah.
And there's a fact to it too. Absolutely. Like they made it fun. They made him a little likable. But this movie, he is not likable in the slightest. Yeah.
That's where I say like, oh, you can really appreciate it in that sense.
Sure.
Also, it's fucking gorgeous to look at.
Mm-hmm. So
other than her like kissing like his hairy nipples, like I'm not down. For that.
That scene was lasting a little too long. Kissing down to his belly, and he had to go ice his dick. So the next movies that here's what we're gonna do, and you can't say anything about it because I know you're gonna agree to both of them. The S movie that we are going to do is The Shining.
Ooh,
It
okay.
is available on Max.
Fuck, I haven't seen it in a long time.
The T movie we're going to do, which it looks like it's streaming on a couple of places, don't get me wrong, is called True Lies.
Oh, all right.
It's for
Never heard of
free on YouTube with ads.
Okay.
But apparently it shows it's on Hulu too, but it might be a different subscription. You might have to have stars or something.
Or live TV.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But
I see
it says on Hulu. And
you check the YouTube stream
YouTube,
of it?
it's
It's
I
good?
haven't, but we got to do it. It's available. It's on YouTube. It's free. It just ads. And
The amount we've talked about this movie, we can't
yeah,
not.
we can't. I mean, it's one of my favorite movies ever. You're fired.
Can I already tell you that's going to be a long episode, but all right.
That's fine. So I greatly liked Quick and the Dead. I greatly liked Raging Bull, even though it was a bummer. I think you are okay about Quick and the Dead, but you really like Raging Bull. Mm-hmm. So
That's the thing. Like, do you like it or appreciate it? You know what I'm
you are
saying?
appreciated. So if you want to make any suggestions for movies that we watch, as long as it's not S and T, that would be now
U and V.
U and V. Oh man, what could a U movie be?
U571.
I don't know if I want to watch that because Bill Paxton dies very quickly. I might add. Up.
Ooh, Disney
Or-
Plus.
Yeah. It's peaking so hard. And then V for Vendetta?
Victorious.
Victorious. That's not the same thing. Anyway, okay, everybody. Well, thank you for listening. You can make suggestions for us by emailing us at spectacular@gmail.com. Or that's about it. So, Mike, why don't you go ahead and take us away?
I mean, it is a boxing movie. So, it's the eye of spectacular, the thrill of the fight. When we're watching and having all these movies. And Brandon's wiping his eyes because he's blinking it out. Yeah. I don't know what the fuck is wrong.
Neither do
with
I.
his eyeballs. Jigga-joo, jigga-joo, jigga-joo.